Hi folks, we've had a lot going on at the shop. Let's do another shop update video. Number one is we've got a RoboDrill. This came out of a local school. It's the one that actually from that video years back, it just wasn't getting used. They finally realized that program needs to go a different direction. We put in a bid on it. Super excited for a bunch of reasons. Number one, it's a 30 taper machine that's a big plus. This is gonna be huge for Proven Cut. And if you haven't seen or heard about Proven Cut yet, this to me is the most exciting thing we have ever done. The goal with Proven Cut is to redefine the way the machining world learns and uses speeds and feeds. So you can filter by machine, by material, by cam strategy, by gauge length, by stick out. Find the recipe that works for you, whether you're on a small Bantam Pocket NC Shapeoko style machine or all the way up to a large 40 taper, 5-axis machine, etc. For us to have a 30 taper in-house to test tools on, to test holders on, to add recipes to that data set, I am super excited about that, and the responses, the feedback we've been getting is awesome. So as an entrepreneur, that feels really good. We also are going to use this thing for production. So it came with a shunt pneumatic vise, and inside here lives a Fanuc robot arm, which is sitting right there. We literally just got power run to it last week, so we're finishing hooking that up. And we might be actually implementing a system from Ready Robotics. More to come on that. We'll for sure keep you guys updated, but it looks like it's kind of a layer that sits on top of the Fanuc system that can make it easier for us to use, program, and implement, because that is the risk. Is this is a new control, it's a new system, we've got to learn that. Nevertheless, super excited. The other new machine, the Tormach MX, I'm really looking forward to putting it through its paces. The fact that it has tapered tooling should really help with this machine's capability as well as its functionality. It's got rigid tapping, it's got the higher RPM spindle, it's got the clear path servos, which really do make for a nicer motion profile. So more to come on that. We're literally just unpacking it right now. Johnny 5. This project has just taken a life of its own, which is absolutely awesome. Ed did most of the work right there. And then we sort of realized the power of the community. So thank you to everybody. We literally had over 100 people sign up for collaboration parts to help build Johnny 5. If we do a project like this in the future, we will be sure to do this again, open it to the community. It was so awesome. Those parts are starting to come in, and we're gonna finish Johnny 5 with you as part of that effort. Really, really cool. We've got small shops, guys just getting started, to some pretty big name folks that we're making parts for them. Also really cool to see folks interested in the chip break series. I feel like that's a unique opportunity for us to try to share what we've learned and what we've been through from a business operations standpoint. One of the things that we're going to start with is talking more about coolant. So we've been testing out different coolants, learning about water, learning about processes, and I really want to show off and talk objectively about the role coolant does, things you should do, things you shouldn't do, and share that with you guys as a resource. First one of those is actually, Julie's editing it right now, so that should be out pretty soon. We just started making fixture plates for the TAG machines, the smaller CNC machines. We've got a mod vise that'll be compatible with this smaller platform. And so we're actually really excited. And I'll be honest, it kind of surprised me. We threw these up on our website and I was surprised at how many folks have already picked them up. It's surprising how many TAG machines or TAG users there are out there. So if you're interested in smaller machine type fixture plates, let us know. We're working on growing that list of CAD models or product options. We've been up to some fun machining projects too. We did not make the longboard. The longboard came from Datron. They made it on one of their larger cube machines, which is really cool. But what we're doing is finishing it off. So Alex did a lot of the heavy lifting on this. He also machined these guys on the 770. And then I made the trucks on the UMC 750. So we'll have a video coming out on that. These were literally one and done. We're gonna do a video on tabbing. I'm still working on some of my processes, but you can see right there is the remnant of the tab. But to make these in one operation is just, to me, so cool. And I continue to stand by the belief that 5-axis has totally changed my perspective on machining. It's reinvigorated my passion. And if you're thinking about picking up a vertical machine center and you're thinking about something like a VF2, I would highly encourage you to think about just skipping that, depending on your parts or your goals, to look at a 5-axis. We did this on the Slant Pro, which is, I thought turned out great. Actually a little bit of a tricky part because you've got some tight tolerances on both sides here. It's an jet engine intake for Andrew Barth, the fellow behind Project Egress. So we're just finishing up some photography on this and then we're gonna ship it off to Andrew, but really nice finishes off the Slant Pro. We did hit this with some polishing compound, just lightly though. and just happy with how that looked. And this is really cool. I did this because I wanted to. It's going to be for my son, who absolutely loves Lego, and I thought, how hard would it be to make this? And that would be a pretty cool Wednesday widget. So stick around, we'll have a video coming out on how we made this. Again, actually easier than you'd think, although it took us a while to think about the work holding strategy and what part you tackle first. A couple good resources worth sharing. Number one, the Autodesk Portland Academy event that was a few months ago. It was one of the best Autodesk learning events I've ever been to. I would highly encourage you guys to think about attending. The instructors were great, the classes were great, the attendees were great to meet a lot of those people, see a lot of those people, and all those classes just got put online. There was one on 5th Axis Toolpaths that absolutely blew me away. I'll put a link to that specific class in the video description. It's completely changed my world on how to use flow or vector-driven 5th Axis toolpaths, as well as how to use 3D sketching to drive swarf toolpaths to get really specific motion profiles that you wouldn't otherwise think that you could get. Raw materials. I've always struggled to find reasonably priced small quantities of materials. Sometimes we'll buy drops, sometimes we'll buy from McMaster. It's always expensive, and Xometry Supplies is the answer for that. We knew them through their main business of sourcing parts, and then they launched supplies, and their aluminum prices are phenomenal, and they do free shipping. So like on this Andrew Barth part, I didn't want to use the stock I had on hand that was oversized, so we bought 2 of these slugs, 4¼ inches by 2½ inches, for like $11 or $12 each. Absolutely amazing. Otherwise, folks, hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. See you soon.